week 6 living in Mexico City, but in this video I'm going to talk about both Austin, Texas and Mexico City because I just got back from Austin yesterday. And I never would have expected that I'd move out of Austin and move into Mexico City and call Mexico City home, nor did I expect to be in a relationship and fly to meet my boyfriend in Texas. But life has an amazing way of surprising us, and I'm all about adventure and surprises, so I'm super grateful for all of these experiences. And it was my boyfriend's first time in Austin, so it was super special to share a city that I really love with him. And I'm going to share the place highlights from our trip there together, places that we went, how to experience Austin like a local if it happens to be your first time visiting, or if you're just looking for new and fresh ideas in Austin. I'm also going to talk about how the two cities compare, Austin and Mexico City, why I chose to leave Austin to move to Mexico City, and more. So let's go. A little bit of context on my experience in Austin and why we chose to meet there last weekend. So I moved to Austin when I was 18 years old. Previous to that, I had never moved. I had never spent more than a week away from my family, and I grew up on a very small island in the Pacific Northwest. So moving to a state and going to a huge university where I didn't know anyone and was away from my whole family was a huge deal for me at the time and completely out of my comfort zone. I think it took probably a full year until I was comfortable there. But now looking back, I'm not only super grateful for that experience, but also I can see the ways that it shaped my independence. It turned me into the traveler and the adventurer that I am today. And so I wouldn't trade that for the world. And also, I was onto something at 18 or even 17 because I could see how incredible and beautiful of a city Austin was at the time before it became as popular as it is now. And I still really love the city. It's so vibrant. I love how much time you can spend outside and in nature. Of course, the restaurants and food are amazing. And there's really an amazing sense of culture and community in Austin that I don't think exists in any other city in the US, but please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Anyways, my boyfriend had never been to Texas, so this felt like a natural fit to meet halfway in Texas, and it was really cool for me to share a city that I love with him. And Austin in October is also beautiful, so it checked all the boxes. So if you know me and you know my travel style or my lifestyle, you know that I love to stay busy and love to stay active and spend a lot of time outside, which is a big reason why I love living in Austin. And luckily, well, probably not by accident, my boyfriend does as well. So we had an absolute blast exploring Austin, being really active, and doing some local and touristy things. So let me run through a highlight of those. We stayed in an absolutely beautiful building called the Vesper, which is on Rainey Street, and it's really accessible to East Austin and also to the trail, which we loved waking up here and just really easily being able to go out for a run. Mexico for just a couple of days. We had to go get tacos, and we went to one of my favorite places for tacos in Mexico City, which is kind of like a speakeasy, and I think probably one of the most authentic experiences to get tacos in Austin. They're Monterey style, and they are absolutely delicious. Another thing that I love about Austin is the warm and sunny weather, and even in October, it still feels like summer. So we spent a lot of time at the natural pool Deep Eddies, which is definitely my favorite place, and I find like an oasis in Austin. So that was lovely. Had some amazing meals, including dinner at a restaurant that I hadn't been to in years called Emmer and Rye. It's on Rainey Street. It's all local, sustainably sourced ingredients from Texas. And our dinner here was delicious. I highly recommend this restaurant if you're going to Austin. One place that I love to go to, probably monthly living in Austin and also visiting, is the Broken Spoke for dancing and live music. And it was so fun to take my boyfriend here and dance. We've got a long way to go, but room for improvement and just so fun. Another place I love to go frequently in Austin is the 360 Bridge, which is just a short hike up, like 5 minutes, to probably the most incredible viewpoint in Austin. I'm always shocked at how beautiful it is here. We went first thing in the morning around sunrise, and it was beautiful. We went to Mozart's Coffee after, where they had live music, because there's live music everywhere in Austin. and we sat outside, watched the lake, and enjoyed a coffee and breakfast tacos, and this was a beautiful morning. I gave him a tour of the UT campus, and we went to the UT gym, which I appreciated as a student there, but now as someone who's graduated, I guess as an alumni, I appreciate it even more. I was just shocked at how beautiful this gym was, and we got a couple great workouts in here. And then, of course, the heart of Austin is South Congress. So we had a great afternoon on Sunday shopping and exploring South Congress and sitting at Warrow's Oak Garden for some live music. And the band that was there on Sunday was incredible. So whether it's your first time visiting Austin or you've been before, I'm going to share some tips for visiting Austin from someone who's lived there for a while. So where you stay, I find to be super important just to add ease and more enjoyment to your trip. So the three main areas that I recommend staying in are East Austin, downtown, or the South Congress area. So first, downtown, to me, it's just the easiest place because all of the restaurants are there. There's great shops. You can easily access a couple, like the Capitol building and some sightseeing places, as well as the downtown trail and the river and Lake Austin. And then East Austin is great for a different style of restaurants. I'd say the restaurants are more foodie over there. There's also a lot of nightlife. You have access to the trail really easily, and just, I don't know, it's fun and vibrant, and East Austin is changing all the time. And then South Congress, to me, it feels the most relaxing, neighborhoody, and peaceful. And you have access to South Congress, to great restaurants, to the trail, and it's the first place that I stayed in Austin, so that holds a special place in my heart. But there are incredible hotels and restaurants and places to visit all over the city. You can't go wrong. And my next tip is to prepare for the heat, because unless you're going in January or February, you're probably going to be hot. And we were just now in late October. It's still like nearly 90 degrees Fahrenheit, but that is something I love about Austin. And because of that, I would say definitely plan some time outside and at the natural pools, including Deep Eddies, Barton Springs, Hamilton Pool. There's honestly many more. Or if you have time for a river float, that's another great thing to do. And what else? Transportation. A rental car can be really helpful in Austin, but if you're planning to drink, I would say it's better to just stick to Ubers. And Ubers are actually quite affordable, and then you don't have to worry about parking. And Austin's also very walkable, and there's Lime bikes and scooters everywhere. So there's a lot of options when it comes to transportation. As far as restaurants go, I highly recommend making reservations honestly 2 weeks or a month in advance. One example from this last weekend, we went to dinner at a restaurant called Sammy's downtown, and the wait was 90 minutes. So we put our name in, went back to our apartment, got changed and ready for dinner, and came back and we were ready to sit. But 90 minutes is a long time to wait, so it's always better to be prepared with reservations. And also, on that note of timeliness and being prepared, the airport, I'm trying not to be negative, but I find that the airport in Austin sucks right now. So it's chaotic. It takes way longer than it should. It's disorganized. So budget a lot more time than you need at the Austin airport, and maybe someone from the Austin airport will see this video, or they'll see someone else's video and there'll be improvements soon. I think it's just the rapid growth of the city. But just be prepared and don't miss your flight home like I did. Anyways, all right, so the big question of why I left Austin to live in Mexico City. As I'm sure you can tell if you've made it to this point in the video, I love Austin. I think it's one of the best cities in the US to live in, especially at my age. But I spent 6 years there. I feel like I really squeezed the juice out of the orange living there. I took full advantage of the city, and I started to notice myself getting too comfortable there, and I was ready to get pushed and to be out of my comfort zone again and to live somewhere new and to be challenged by a new city and a new place. And at the same time, I discovered Mexico City and began to fall in love with Mexico City and to form a great sense of community here. And there's a lot of similarities in both cities with warm weather, sunny weather, a warm culture, really community oriented, very active and outdoorsy. So a lot of the things that I loved about Austin, I was able to find here in Mexico City as well. And making great friends here in Mexico City was the push that I needed to finally leave Austin. And also, it's only a 1 or 2 hour flight. These cities are from each other. So I realized that even if I'm not living in Austin, I can really easily go back at any time. I can see my siblings who still live there, see my close friends who still live there, and tap back into the Austin lifestyle that I love as well, like I just did last weekend. But I've now visited Austin twice in the last couple months, and I am 100% reassured in my decision to live here in Mexico City. At the moment, I really prefer living in Mexico City than I do in Austin. I'm noticing now there's things in Austin that we have in Mexico that you don't have there, like, let's say, street tacos. I find the transportation to be easier here in Mexico. I find to be challenged more frequently with fitness. There's obviously a lot more culture and history and things to learn and just unique things to do and experience here. And the city is a lot more diverse as far as people and ideas and lifestyles. And then on the business side and content side, there's a lot of opportunities for me here in Mexico to grow and connect with other creators and hospitality brands. To wrap that up, I am definitely confident in my decision to put the Austin chapter on hold for the moment and to reroute here in Mexico City. But I am super grateful for Austin, and I know that I wouldn't be the person I am today had I not lived there and had it shape me the way that it did. But I'm also so excited to see what I have to learn here and how I will continue to grow in Mexico City. A little bit on relationships and dating as someone who travels full-time and lives abroad. So when I was really in the thick of my travels, dating was not a priority for me. I couldn't have been bothered. I was so excited to just keep moving and keep seeing the world. And I met some cool guys along the way, but not enough to keep me staying still in one place until this past summer when I went home and I reconnected with someone I had met a couple months prior, and I fell in love at home in the summer, and it was amazing. And we decided that it was worth trying to make this work long distance-ish. But I feel super grateful and blessed that my schedule with my travels allows for flexibility. So I can go home to see him. We can meet up in places like Austin, and eventually he'll come here. Well, not eventually, soon he'll come here to Mexico City to experience this life with me as well. But yeah, I'm definitely learning what this looks like to be a traveler and in a relationship, and also just as a young adult in a relationship, since I have not been dating for a while. But it's beautiful and I'm loving it. And I guess I'll share more once I keep learning more. That's it on highlights from Austin, tips for Austin, why I chose to leave Austin for Mexico City, why I'm so grateful for both of these cities and these experiences, and just everything. There's just so much to be grateful for right now. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like it, comment below. Maybe if you have other ideas of things you want to see videos on in Mexico City or elsewhere, let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for more travel or Mexico City content, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram. And I really appreciate you watching this, and I hope you have a beautiful week or weekend whenever this video finds you. Thank you, and peace. Testing. And six, what was I going to say to that? And then we, of course, okay. This, am I just low battery now? No.